Let's go to Hathaway. Sorry. Leave the girl for last. Not dreams. When the son of Hathaway Shigema was kidnapped, a botched investigation by the police resulted in the child's murder. 1 year later, Hathaway has hired a private investigator to help resolve the unsettled case. Late at night, while speaking to the detective at her home, something strange suddenly appears. The haunting clappers. You can use it to kill those with fire or a fire-starting device on their person. Back with me, ma'am? Can't say I understand what just happened, but it certainly seems to have put you in a good mood. This might be the first time I've ever seen you really smile. Sweet dreams? Housewife Haruhi Shigema. No, not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. Old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. Arrangement of flowers. We bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. A stereo unit with separated speakers designed for home use. My husband insisted on buying one, even though he isn't one to listen to music often. I won't look at that just yet. The swinging of the pendulum echoes through the room. Feels livelier than usual with Richard here. Usually it's just me. Color television. Father brought one in as soon as it hit the market. He likes to have the latest gadgets. Unlike the latest models, there is no remote control. We've had it for a long time. Back when it was new, we all gathered around it and marveled at it as a family. But with Father and my husband being away so often, it quickly fell into disuse. Fax machine, it can send images to other places along the telephone network. I don't really know how it works. Most houses don't have one. I rarely find a use for it. The telephone? This mansion has a private line. The guest table. I don't know where Father got this old thing from, but I've never liked it. And the chandelier. The only thing in here that's my choice. It's my favorite part of the room. My heart's still racing. This is it, my chance, at long last. A private investigator I hired. Oh, I should have read the thing. Damn. Hold on, let me go back. Let me read it. Where's the interest? Haruhi Shigema, a housewife who resides in a manor near Shumoku Bridge. Her 11-year-old son, Shuichi, was kidnapped and murdered about a year ago. The death was the result of a mistake on the part of the detective assigned to the case, a mistake which enraged the kidnapper and had him cut off all contact with the police, leaving no room for negotiation. The incident was covered up, and Shuichi's killer remains at large, leading the aggrieved Haruhi to call on the services of private investigator Richard Kai to uncover the truth. so most of her family has important positions in the police force. Harue's father sits in the upper echelons of the National Police Agency, and her husband, adopted into the Shigima clan through an arranged marriage, is also a highly respected agency official. Her family prioritizes work above all else. It wasn't long before Harue's marriage grew cold. Though she wants for nothing, she is isolated from her neighbors and withdrawn from society. Seeing her son grow into a young man gave Harue a purpose in life, but it was cut short by the kidnapping incident. Following the incident, Harue spent many days in a deep depression, breaking into sudden fits of shouting and wandering around the middle of the night. Her cheerful, loving disposition faded away, and she took to making snide remarks at her husband, which only further soured their relationship. A few months ago, Harue's husband was transferred to another area for work and now rarely returns home, with Harue left to live in the large, empty mansion alone. As a housekeeper who has been with the family for a long time comes in to take care of all the housework, Harue has nothing but time on her hands. Okay. A friend told me about him. They said he's not very well known, but he's good at what he does. When I first visited his office in Oda City and saw how he dressed, I could hardly believe he was a detective. But after talking to him for a while, I changed my mind. He says some strange things at times, but seems like the reliable sort. Okay, now we have more info on the Kai. The eccentric man. He's PI. He was once a police officer. He was racked with guilt over the police's inability to help all those in need, and quit the force to start his own private investigation firm. Oh, so he also went to school. Yeah, he studied alongside. Okay. Jun is saying that Richard is a weirdo that left police academy. Okay. No, they're all coming together. However, his soft-hearted nature leads him to take on too many cases and has put his office in dire financial straits. How he's still in business is a mystery, with some whispering that a wealthy patron is keeping him afloat. Somehow surprisingly, Richard excels at covert investigations and tailing his targets. He proudly refers to himself as an investigator extraordinaire, though that only ever succeeds in impressing himself. Biggest source of happiness is nuzzling his pet female albino parakeet, Ernestine. While on about, Richard typically leaves the office and, more importantly, Ernestine in the care of Amamori, a junior high schooler who volunteered to assist Richard after being involved in a previous case. As your Heron Agency is the name of his place, and it's a weird name. Just put it as A so it can be found in the phone books. Alphabetical order stuff. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out. And the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? Interesting. Very interesting. So the haunting clapper's curse echo appeared out of nowhere. Told you how to perform the rite of resurrection. And gave you the curse, you'll need to do it. Have I got that right? That's right. So it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. So he had it on him. I don't think you quite understand. Oh? This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched into my soul, along with the curse echoes resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying the way they did hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in flame, writhing in pain, As my flesh blackens and my blood boils, I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. This urge that they be having, man. Weird. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me anyway. Good grief, talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment, remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. That might be a good idea. That's what you hired me for, ma'am. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. Very fresh wound. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigema. Ah yes, I remember. I never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kind of you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I'm turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. 1 is better than none. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember, you were just about to tell me. Red. Everything is dyed crimson. My home is burning to the ground. It's hot, so hot. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. It's just the audio. You took everything from me. My family's dead. You burned my house to the ground. That's right, I'll use a fire clapper. Clack, clack. Is anybody there? Clack, clack. Why is no one coming? I'm going to burn to death. How did it come to this? Oh, right, her. Must have been the work of that vixen who appeared suddenly and enchanted my lord, that witch. Those hauntingly cold eyes and my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be karma. Sound of a heavy bell. Feels like my head will split open. Feels like May head, but it's okay. Alright, the evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. Clack, clack. Okay, so kidnapping murder that took place in Honjo 1 year ago. He was kidnapped on his way home from school, with the ransom being demanded that same evening. At first, it was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigema family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The police force's pride got into the whole debacle, and they really felt like they needed to solve this without doing the extortion route. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. She resolved to hand over the ransom money, but her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying that they would not let the criminal win by giving in to the demands. As if their son's and grandson's life isn't on the flipping line. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give him an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed, and Shuichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could be largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The case is long gone cold, but it's not closed. You know, we still need to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I found, and then we can make a decision. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover. Just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see here, Northern Oyoko River, here in Sumida City. It's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. but it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi had been held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring that he was seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home. Maybe, but exactly. Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I knew he understood, too. I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. And the issue here is that there aren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say if they saw anything suspicious. So, did they target him at some other time or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of these seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided that the kidnapper must have gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get into the car. But how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if they were somebody that he would have a reason to trust. A teacher perhaps, a relative, or somebody else that he knew. But all of the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked them all thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather, what if the culprit disguised himself as a police officer? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. Redo that. That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. It's late, it's nighttime. I can't. The Shigima family has close ties with the police after all. You would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right. But surely that couldn't have. Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's the point after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. But there's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women or children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting at it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? Someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions. Would he have gotten into the car? He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for the women and children. You could certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays, but if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something there. Here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman? But it was a man's voice on the phone. She might have been an accomplice, or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, it goes for witnesses too. And I figured that maybe if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And the one man, thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. turned out he wanted something from me, so we asked if we could talk in private. Several hours earlier. Alright, this should do. There's no one around. We can speak in confidence. Excuse me. What's your name again? Chunoichi. Where did you come from, bro? Jonochi. Well, got it. Jonochi, I'm all ears. Jonochi or Jonoichi? Just so we're on the same page. You're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigima's kidnapping. Do I have that right? Of course, what else do I look like? Buddy, you look like a cowboy. Alright, how should I know what a private detective looks like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger, I need your help. You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who was trying to kill you? A student called Michio Shiraishi. Interesting. A schoolgirl, eh? Sounds like you've been naughty. It's nothing like that. That girl, she's a murderer. I'm the only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi. I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigema. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him, I'm sure of it, or at least she's got something to do with it. That's why you're here. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me. If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? Well, you see, if you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I spoke a word. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life. So you've been sitting on that all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans. Yes, that's it exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Her Bester, I'm telling you, she's a demon. Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. His face. It's true, her house, it's her house. Oh, you didn't pay attention to that last time? I forget it, I don't even bother. You seem dubious enough to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. Enough. I'll find someone else to help me. Hey. And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk, but I'm starting to see that there might have been more to it. Then if we can just find that girl, curse or no curse, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name is Kohei Jonoichi. He's a teacher at Komagata High School here in Sumida. A teacher? Then this schoolgirl is one of his students? I think that's very likely. At least we've got a lead. Hopefully it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. About the Red Resurrection. The Red Resurrection, huh? I read about that in an occult magazine the other day. Apparently some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the right can be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like my prayers had been heard. Like I had hope, real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I've wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I'd done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right. Why she acting surprised? Like, come on, bro. We already know you're finna do the craziest things for your son. It's your son, bro. Guess I don't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I could tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but, if the right is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I thought if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would happily kill for a chance like this. Is that so? Dear oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? Brother thinks he's Jotaro Kujo. If it makes you uncomfortable, then you won't have to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other horse bearers. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am, not even for a client. I'll pay you, or that's a shame. I'll pay you. How much can I give you to change your mind? Sorry, ma'am, but not everyone has a price. I've got my policies, and I stick to them. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. Oh, wait, I think Buddy already got a sugar mama or sugar daddy, so he really don't need money. Damn. Damn. You lost your shot. It's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you mean? What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul dregs? I guess you can do that, huh? Since Tetsumi was able to do it. Tsutsumi, who the what's up, bruh? If that was all you were after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. Pragmatic kind of attitude. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Well then, I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? Yes, that's murder, bitch. That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. My. Ara. Cut that out. About my curse. Before we get any further, why don't you tell me about that curse of yours? The haunting clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Hanjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my memory would be on all the curse bearers being sober in Hanjo. Your first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter on their person. Is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. Seems like a good curse to have, simple and straightforward enough to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing what else is on the table. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off, and it has a nice long activation window. Big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket. And say that condition were already fulfilled before they even knew you're there. They wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. That could work, although without any proof it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a letter right here. We could try it out now. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not quite crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying. And I don't think it's just the curse. I like Haruhi. I think she's funny. Okay, now we can look at the sticker. I almost forgot about it. Well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, you made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere or other. You put it up just before, well, you know what happened, so I could bring myself to take it down. Let me get a closer look. I knew it. It's a head honcho from way back in set number 1. This is a real collector's item. Excuse me? Don't tell me you never heard of the mockingbirds. The what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. Never heard of them. Certainly seems to matter to you. Best part is nobody knows who made them. They just started showing up around town. The penis man. They won everybody's hearts. Story goes that they've made some anonymous artist who covertly leaves them behind in specific locations. They're made by some anonymous artists. Nobody knows when or where they'll show up next. They're like an urban legend. To think one could turn up here of all places is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah, got the bird. Right, you can zoom in on things. Why? I'm not sure how that matters yet. As for what we do next, first of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside of your normal routine. Right then, have you decided what you want to be working on? What you want me to work? Damn it! Right then, have you decided what you want me working on? Well, me, I don't care about the rat as a person. I don't want to care about. I doubt resurrecting your son will actually be good. It'll probably be bad. Excuse me. Investigate the kidnapping. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises. Could you search for the other curse bearers? Huh, alright, I'll see how it is. I see how it is. Well, I'll be happy to help. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill under the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. So in the end, we look into the curse bearers. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up, I can start asking questions. Brother, when are you gonna sleep? Where's the sleep for you, bro? I'll investigate the kidnappings as well. I'll even try to find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain. Thank you. That's more than enough. Now then, I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. Alright. Look at the nice blur effect. Like this is like some oldies anime or like some old TV shows that have the blur effect like House. There's no telling what kinds of curses you might find out on the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it. And try to be ready for anything. I will. Well, if that's all, I should be going.